Hello, everyone. Welcome to Angel Healing House Radio. My name is Claire Candy Hough. Through my business, Angel Healing House, which can be found at angelhealinghouse.com. I'm a writer and an author, an international radio host, a Reiki master teacher, and an angel practitioner. My inspirational books entitled Angels of Faith and One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, are based on my recollections of our life in spirit, and they help us to remember our divine, eternal natures. Through Angel Healing House, I help people to let go of sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, and regret that has kept them locked in the prison of the past, and I help them to let go of worry, stress, and control, which has kept them focused on an imagined future. And once they are no longer living in the past or the future, they can start to live in the present moment, which is the only place that they can experience synchronicities, miracles, and magic. As an angel practitioner, I help people to see their lives from a higher perspective with the help of an extraordinary group of angels who call themselves the Posse of Angels. Just like my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, I'm very excited to take some of your calls for that free angel advice. You can call into the show on 1-800-930-2819. Hello, listeners, and welcome once again to Angel Healing House Radio. Before we take your phone calls, I'd like to start the show by reminding everyone that we are on the verge of yet another full moon on the 24th, and this one is going to be in the sign of Taurus. It continues the theme of building and assessing the relationships in our lives. Now, do remember that Venus is still in retrograde until November 16th, and Venus is the planet of charm, of beauty, of grace, and with it being retrograde, it is helping us to release and let go of any relationships that are no longer serving us beautifully in life, and to work on making changes that will really transform those relationships and thus transform our lives. By experiencing this chance for deep emotional work, our hearts are ready for a shift in how they have been operating. Now, a huge reminder here is to please be kind and gentle with yourself, as the path to achieve these changes may not be an easy journey. I've heard from many people over the last 2 or 3 weeks how difficult this time of Venus retrograde has been for them, because so many things that were the underlining causes of irritation in relationships have been brought up again, yet once more to be finally dealt with. Now, if you found yourself closed off or feeling anxious around others, you may decide that it's time to work on being a little more open, opening our hearts. Well, it requires a lot of trust in ourselves and in others. And if you want to advance creative projects and to make and build connections, it's really necessary to put yourself out there in order to realize a dream or to create that passion project, maybe perhaps even take a leap into a business venture. You have to open your heart. You have to be willing to get hurt and disappointed. But if you don't take that risk and put yourself out there, you'll never know what miraculous possibilities exist. While Venus is the ruler of the heart, she also rules over very material things like money and profits. Under this full moon, our finances may be highlighted, and we may find ourselves creating more security in our lives. And in order for this to occur, we will be encouraged to build and create with others. Now, for so long, many of us have been going at our lives from a singular point of view. Now we go into the bridge where we open ourselves up in order for others to help promote, support, encourage, and recognize our talents. Now, during the rest of October, really allow yourself to, in some ways, sit back and to be guided. It is a month of possibilities, opportunity, and for truly putting your attention on opening your heart. Now, let's get on to the topic today, which is entitled Age Appropriate is No Longer Appropriate. You know, everyone, after living in Los Angeles for so many years, well, this was a few years ago, I finally went to the Hollywood Bowl, and it was amazing. Pete and I went to see Paul Simon, who at the age of 74 was on yet another world tour. After 11 studio albums, 2 live albums, 9 compilation albums, and 15 singles, he was at that time promoting yet again another new album, which was entitled Stranger to Stranger. Now, Paul Simon was always planted firmly in my memories in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s as the former soul of Claire Candy, who was in the body, who I write about in my book, I Am an Angelic Walk-In. She was born in 1955, so she was a baby boomer. And so she remembers all of Paul Simon's music, grew up with it. And I anticipated that listening to this music again would transport me back to those places and times I'd heard it before. But when the concert began, I found myself more enthralled with the energy that this musical genius was emitting. And it was very different from how I remembered him from former years. Now, the Posse of Angels is reminding me that this is so because now I am so vastly different. Paul Simon now exuded a self confidence, a worthiness, even a poise and grace, as if he had come home to himself and he had become one with his music and his creative endeavors, rather than seeming like trying to prove himself. I always found Paul Simon to be an amazing innovator, a completely unique songwriter, and yet his energies, at least when the former soul was in her 20s and 30s, and she experienced him, he seemed rather fragile, as if he was one unfavorable review away from being seen as not being worthy of recognition. But now, at the young age of 74, he seemed to have come full circle and was now embodying those qualities of grace and dignity. And he no longer had to prove himself to anyone. I'm not sure when this started for him. You know, perhaps it was during his 40s, 50s, 60s. But I can tell you personally, having just turned 63 this month, that when you get to this stage in your life, the stage in which you realize that you don't have to justify any part of yourself to anyone, it is utterly magical. It's magical because you realize that the inner dialogue that we might have perpetuated about things like not being worthy, not measuring up, being in constant competition with others, it's all simply an illusion. And what is most important is A, is what we think about ourselves, and B, that we authentically and honestly show up in the world. You know, looking at his new photo to endorse his new album, I could energetically see that there was a softness, there was a sweetness. He seemed to be a soul who seemed totally at peace at knowing who he is and his place in the grand scheme of life. In the section that we were seated in the Hollywood Bowl, I struck up a conversation with a mother and daughter who was sharing our box. They said that they were excited to see Paul Simon, but the mother commented that she could not believe that he was still touring because that lifestyle was just not age appropriate for someone in their 70s. Hmm. Which got me wondering. I wonder if Stevie Nicks of Fleetwood Mac, who at 70 years of age is more in demand and hotter than ever, would agree with that comment. Or the piano man, Billy Joel, who is also almost 70. And let's not even mention the Rolling Stones and their longevity, with this woman's words still ringing in my ears. It got me wondering about the phrase age appropriate. Many people are not only amazed at Paul Simon's longevity and that he is still touring in his 70s, but they're amazed by how fresh and creative his new album is. And he's once again clearly exploring new avenues, instruments, and rhythms. Sure, those of us who remember him from decades ago, we were absolutely thrilled that he played songs like Graceland, Julio Down by the Schoolyard, Crazy After All These Years, and Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes. But it was his juices of creativity that still flowed in his new songs that caught my attention the most. Many of us who are conscious and living an awakened life have our goals, our dreams, and desires. But how many of us truly envisage creating the physical manifestation of those desires into our 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond? This reminded me of a previous caller into my radio show who asked me when she could retire. Well, the Posse of Angels was quick to point out that if she was truly passionate and loved what she was doing, then she would never, ever wish to retire from it, regardless of age, because it fed her soul. Yet many of us were programmed to retire because of the dictates of age, rather than being excited to keep creating because we felt passionately motivated to do so and we were joyful. Much of our modern Western society has been driven by a culture of youth. And once one's looks fade, that person is supposed to retire. They're supposed to put their affairs in order as if they have nothing left to contribute. Yet this goes counter to the beliefs of many around the world in cultures throughout time, whether it was Native Americans, the Mayan, Asian cultures. It was the wise crones, in particular, the older women of the tribe who had a pride of place to be the revered teachers and vessels that carried the wisdom to impart to the next generations. I believe that the whole notion of age appropriateness was perpetuated in order to suppress the wisdom and the invaluable experience that these older individuals can share with others. It seemed to me that the term age appropriate was created to actually put limitations and restrictions on what each of us is capable of at any age. There have been many people who have been in an enormous success in their latter years in life, as their persistence, their determination, their belief in themselves, and their passion for what they love doing propelled them into a new experience. And it was in those latter years. For instance, Julia Child debuted her first TV show when she was 51 years old, which launched her into international fame as a chef. Laura Ingalls Wilder, she didn't publish her book Little House on the Prairie until she was 64 years old. Now the Posse of Angels is reminding us that you are never ever ever too old to do something amazing that you love. And they're also reminding us that no one ages in heaven unless they choose to look older for some reason. Now, I speak about this in my channel novel, One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, as the Etheric Council, who we all go to meet and to review our contracts in our books of life, in our book of life that we've written before our human incarnations. The Etheric Council often choose to look older because this gives them a wise old sage look. Now, the Posse of Angels are asking us to think back to our younger days and just think of how much of our time and energy was focused on whether we measured up to the competition. Gosh, how much stress and worry and time was spent on that. For many of us, our whole self esteem and what we thought we could do was largely based on how the rest of the world reacted to us rather than relying on our inner acceptance, knowing that we were perfect. and co created by Source to be who we divinely are. And the Posse of Angels is reminding us that with so many clearing their energy field with being mindful of things like what they eat, being conscious of their decisions and choices, what they think, and how they nurture their souls, they may find that their energies are of such a high vibration that they are reversing the signs of aging and are feeling younger and younger every day. So, what may have seemed to have a limited shelf like life, like a dream or experience that one could have only done when they were younger, is for many not a problem in their later years. So, let's just take a look at what we should be doing at what age. Well, frankly, with so many people finally awakening to honoring their desires and not following the, in quotes, appropriate age at which to retire, we do see people of all ages stepping forward into living the life of their dreams. The Posse of Angels is reminding us that if we feel good about ourselves and we do not restrict ourselves for any reason, including age, as to what makes our hearts sing and gets us wiggling with excitement, then we allow ourselves to experience joy and fulfillment, which then emotionally charges our immune systems. With charged immune systems, we have more energy to devote to our projects as we continually fuel the fire of our passions. As a result of this, we project the confidence and the self assuredness that is a powerful energy that attracts others and makes them interested to align with who we are and what we passionately love doing. There are certain things that we all can do to not fall into restricting ourselves by saying that we're too old to experience something or to start a new endeavor. Now, the first thing to do is to be absolutely 100% honest with yourself. If something makes you happy, I often have said to listeners and viewers that if something makes me wiggle, if I feel an emotional wiggle inside, I don't even question it. I know that it is something that I would love doing, and even if it goes beyond logic and reason, I step forward. But if we allow this to happen, then we allow ourselves to experience joy and fulfillment, which then gets us all fired up. So, again, please remember that we do not come out, each one of us doesn't come out of the womb walking, and that we either had to get up on our knees, we had to rock back and forth, some cruised along the furniture before we took our first steps. Now, this is very much like being 100% honest with ourselves that just because we're going to pursue a dream doesn't mean that it automatically will happen. Okay. And the majority of us, when we started to walk, we fell down many times. And that's the same as anyone who has ever achieved a dream, a goal, an intention, a wish in their life. There has been lots of failure along the way, but it has taught us great experience to then go on to succeed. Don't allow the fear of failure to stop you from stepping forward to action your dreams and your desires, no matter what age you are. And the Posse of Angels wishes for us to remember that one cannot succeed without failures. It's just impossible to go beyond age being a determinant as what you can do, as to what you can be, and what you can have. It is vital to keep that little child inside of you, that little child, excited, passionate, enthusiastic energy alive inside. Please allow yourself to be curious about life. And when the opportunity arises, allow yourself to go on unexpected adventures, to allow yourselves to have more experiences, because that's what we're here for. We're here not to figure life out, but we're here to experience life. Try new things, speak to different people, challenge yourself, and know deep in your heart that there is no failure. only missed opportunities that we say no to out of fear. Now ask yourself, what is it that I still wish to do? What do I feel excited and what do I feel passionate about? Take a few moments to just think about those two things. What would I love to do? What am I still passionate about? What do I wish to enthusiastically share with the world? It's these motivations that will keep us young. And just like Paul Simon, at the age of 74, it will keep the juices of creativity nourishing our souls. It'll keep us vital and feeling alive. You know, everyone, before I had my angelic walk in experience, which I speak about in my autobiography, I am an angelic walk in, the autobiography of me, Angel Ariel. Before that happened, well, the former soul of Claire Candy was obsessed with not being good enough to dream her dreams, and she constantly held herself back from doing what she wished, as she believed that she had to live by a prescribed list of guidelines as to what she could or could not do. By silencing her desires and suffocating her dreams, she lost her light and she lost her will to live. She lost her way back to finding the divine within herself. But after the walk in experience, now as Angel Ariel, it's interesting that when I started to allow myself to be interested in what made me excited and honored my heart's longings, I took inspired action to making my dreams a reality. And it was then that others then became interested in me and promoting my work. You know, the Posse of Angels is assuring us that we were never, ever supposed to be defined by age or anything else for that matter, as we are all multidimensional, divine, eternal beings. And if we ever truly realized our full potential and limitless possibilities, it would absolutely blow our minds. And the Posse of Angels is reminding us that being ageless truly is a state of mind. Rather than stopping ourselves by being limited by age, it's important to know that we all go through different cycles in our lives, and what we once thought perhaps was impossible when we were younger, we may now have more wisdom. We may have more experience and the self confidence to go out and try something which we always wanted to do. What keeps us young at any age is that we are open to learning something new and allowing ourselves to be taught. It's in this allowance that we allow ourselves to grow. We allow ourselves to expand our experiences on the earth plane while we are here in human form. You know, with so much of the emphasis in our modern world put on youth, it's important to remember that there is a fountain of youth in each one of us. We can experience this mystical, magical, renewing fountain through our minds, through our talents, our passions, our creativity that we bring to our lives, and the love we share with ourselves and others. For when we tap into these things, each one of us will surely have transcended age, and there will be no age appropriateness anymore. You know, with our focus on age today, when I chose an animal spirit card for further messages, who should come sauntering? I'm not maybe not sauntering, maybe the word is ambling in, but turtle. The turtle is a great symbol of longevity, endurance, persistence, and the continuation of life. The turtle's ancient soul is connected to Mother Gaia's and is reminding us to be more grounded, connect with the deeper truths in life, no matter what age we physically are. You know, with turtle, there is a self assuredness. there's a self-knowing and trust exemplified by our slow and steady friend that helps him to be in the world, slowly collecting life's experiences. By doing so, he does not follow others' agendas, but allows his steady, enduring beat of Mother Nature to prompt his little legs to take him on adventures, remaining open to experience limitless possibilities for him. So thank you very much, Mr. Turtle, for coming in and helping us. You have been listening to me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. I've been speaking about my wonderful books. If you are new to the channel, I am an author and I have written three extraordinary books. The first one is Angels of Faith. This one is based on my two near-death experiences, and it reawakens the reader to how we are divine, eternal beings, and we do not die. I have as many adults buying this book for themselves, for people who are bereaved, people who are going through terminal illnesses, as it awakens hope in all of us that we are so much more than just our physical incarnation. The next book, my first novel, is One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness. This one is about my most important 5 past lives as I grew the most spiritually, and then what I did in between those lives and how I built on each former life. And it shows the arc of the birth and death wheel that we all get to experience, and how we choose to enlighten or we don't choose to enlighten. But in this case, how I chose to enlighten and become Angel Ariel. And then this book is the sequel to that book. I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of myself, Angel Ariel. You can purchase these books on my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, or they can be purchased on Amazon. Also, a note to those who like to listen to audiobooks, I'm an Angelic Walk-In is on audible.com, and you can purchase and download it there. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will take some of your phone calls for those free angel readings. We'll talk to you soon.
Have you discovered the remarkable books at angelhealinghouse.com? Author Claire Candy Hough has channeled rare books of inspiration and insight.
Angels of Faith is an inspiring story of healing, comfort, and hope that reminds us that death is not to be feared, but embraced with joy.
One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness takes readers on a roller coaster ride through Angel Ariel's 5 most important lives on Earth, as well as her experiences in the afterlife, and helps us remember our own journey across the veil.
And Claire Candy's autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, which details the 2003 soul exchange that took place when Claire Candy walked out of her body and Angel Ariel walked in, creating heaven on earth for herself and others.
To find out more about these wonderful books, visit angelhealinghouse.com today. To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Hough, Angelic Walk-In Angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now 831-277-3716 or visit angelhealinghouse.com.
Hello, everyone. You're back with me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. I hope you're having a wonderful October here in Santa Monica, in California. We have been having some beautiful, absolutely beautiful fall days. There's a bit of a crispness to the air, and we have the beautiful blue skies during the day, lovely fallish weather, and then it gets cool enough at night to start thinking about pulling out some of those fall clothes. And I've heard from my clients in other areas around the world that winter has truly started. My my clients up in, excuse me, Nova Scotia and Halifax tell me that they've seen first signs of snow already. So enjoy the holiday season. I love autumn. With the pumpkins and the apple ciders and sort of the craft fairs and all of those wonderful things at this extraordinary time of harvest this year. If you just joined us, you might have missed that we have been speaking about, especially in the first part of the program, we were speaking about that we're going to have a full moon this coming, actually tomorrow on the 24th. And this one is encouraging us to really open ourselves, to collaborate with others, to connect with others. And this has such a great deal to do with cleaning up the relationships in our lives. Um, you know, um, this is mainly prompted because Venus has gone retrograde. Now, Venus is the planet of beauty, it's the planet of grace, it's the planet of charm. And when Venus is moving smoothly ahead, everything is diplomacy, everything is fine, everything is wonderful. But when Venus is in retrograde, it really is getting us to take a look at our relationships. Could be to take a look at our relationship with ourselves as well. So, as I did mention, be very kind with yourself. Because in going back and making sure those relationships are all good, it may bring up things of irritation, and sometimes we have to be humbled and we have to open our hearts to receive, and sometimes compromise when it does come to relationships. So let's go to the phone lines, and just a reminder, if you want to call in for a free angel reading with myself and my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, you can always call in on 1-800-930-2819, and we would love to answer your questions, perhaps give some channeled messages, insights, and advice on your queries. So let's go to our first caller. We have Stephanie in New York. Stephanie, you're on the line with Claire Candy Hough. Hello?
Hi. Hi. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Hello? I'm okay. I thought it was interesting what you were saying before about Paul Simon still performing. This is our anniversary with my boyfriend, and of the date that we saw Leonard Cohen perform, who was even older. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not.
Yes. There's so many. There are so many performers now who don't see themselves as needing to stop what they're doing just because of a certain age.
Yeah, I think he was in his 80s or maybe even late 80s when we saw him, and he was amazing.
Absolutely.
And then the other but that wasn't why I'm calling. The reason why I was calling is I was wondering. Well, I was hoping for some suggestions or feedback. I'm trying to figure out still the pregnancy stuff, and if like now would be a good time, or in 6 months. Yeah, I guess it's like the timing. I was wondering what they had to say.
Now, I missed the first. I'm not sure if you're on speaker or not, but I missed the first part of you were wondering about, and then it cut out.
Oh, for trying for a pregnancy, the timing.
Oh, trying for the pregnancy. Okay.
Yeah, if I should, try now or in 6 months. Trying to figure out some sequencing of events, and if I should, and what they think about working with Dr. Lekovich.
Okay, the first thing that they're saying, Stephanie, is you have so many things going on at the moment. Um, you're still trying to heal. There's still things emotionally that need to be brought into alignment, that possibly now is not the best time. And your intuition is telling you that it might be better, maybe even in 2 months' time, maybe in 3 months' time. But what they're saying to you is to open your heart to be told. Um, there seems to be you have enough going on at the moment with healing yourself physically, and also the emotions behind those physical symptoms that have been created within the body, that it might be a better time at a latter date. Now, a latter date could be in 2 days, but they're just saying, and I believe they said this to you before, is not to put pressure on yourself, because that absolutely closes the door. So I think it's really important to establish within yourself that you're doing the best that you can do. You're going to put all your focus into promoting the healing of your physicality and the emotions behind those physical symptoms, and then you're going to be open. You're going to be open to uh, stepping forward when those signs are offered to you about about trying for pregnancy. And they're saying that if you are open, the signs are going to be so ludicrously easy for you to follow, that it won't entail any worry, any misinterpretation or anything like that. So let's go to the cards and see what comes out. So I guess in a nutshell, they're saying at a latter date, rather than right now.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go to the cards and see what comes out. Okay. Sounds like you're outside or there's wind going on. I'm not sure what that sound is.
Oh, yeah. I'm in a car and the window is down. I have headphones on, but I'm on
Oh,
the
okay.
way to a doctor's appointment.
Okay, all right. So that's
And the driver's on speakerphone.
okay.
On the
So
call,
that's the,
so
that's the reason for that. I was going.
yeah.
It sounded like you were in a wind tunnel. It's like whoosh.
Oh,
Okay,
no, just approaching the FDR.
okay. All right. So the first card that comes out for you is the Five of Cups. Now, the Five of Cups is traditionally the card of seeing things, seeing the glass as half empty in life.
I have been like that, yeah.
Okay, so they really want you to, and we all go through this, no matter how much somebody is a guru or a Sikh or a very learned spiritual teacher or whatever. We all have times, because of our humanness, that we take our focus off of our blessings. We take our focus off of what we do have, and then we start thinking of those things that perhaps we don't have. So that they want you to now say, okay, now that I've become conscious of it, and you've gotten a bit of a reminder from myself and the Posse of Angels, is just to re-establish those energies of being blessed with so much, and pouring that into your healing, the gratitude and the appreciation, which is really so important, as there's two of the highest forms of energy that we have. The next card that's coming out for you is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is that card of being offered something. The more, then they're saying, it's a roundabout way of getting. It's always a roundabout way of us getting from the universe, or us receiving from the universe, in that if we can be open and give to ourselves, then it's amazing how I mentioned in the channel today that then the universe will propose different things to us. And by letting go of the when and the how of that pregnancy happening, there could be different things coming in for you. And so the next card that's coming in is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups. And this is, they're saying that usually this is the partnership card, which entails partnering with somebody else, but this is partnering more with yourself, and uh, and your and your angelic wisdom. They're saying because you've gotten off track. Uh, the times where you've gotten off track, you have completely discounted or not gone to your angelic guides. Um, and they want you to reconnect with them and to find solace and comfort and messages in how you need to step forward in that regard. So I hope that's been helpful for you.
That's interesting. They're all cups, right? Is that right?
Yes, it's all cups. So it all really has to do with your emotions, healing your emotions.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
you're very welcome. Have a beautiful day, Stephanie. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Bye bye. And remember that if you would like to call in for a free angel reading, you can always call in on 1-800-930-2819. Let's go to our next caller. We have a caller from Santa Monica, California, right in my backyard. Hello, you're on the line with Claire Candy Hough. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. What is happening in your world?
Well, I'm working on a couple of projects at the moment, and the primary project is moving along okay. But I'm wondering about this other one that I'm trying to get some movement on, and it's related to Hawaii. So I'm wondering if there's any information about either of those two projects, particularly the Hawaii-related one, as to I guess not so much timing, but just whether it's a yes instead of a no at some point in the future. I'm curious to know.
Well, the Posse of Angels are saying that right now it is still a yes. They're showing me that there was something that had to have been done in the last year or two, and it had to have been done publicly to get some information out there on a public level. I'm not sure what they're pointing towards, but they're saying that you will know this, that they had to go public with this, and now it's died down a little bit. So when uh, when the timing is right, it's funny you said that's not timing, but they're saying yes, it is timing. They're saying when the timing is right, your proposal will be brought to the fore, and they will get very excited about that because uh, they haven't addressed or they haven't thought of this possibility yet that you have thought about. Um, and the Posse of Angels are still saying, yes, we would not have given you and planted this seed of excitement in your soul to do with this if it was not going to come to fruition. Um, they're saying
That's
not
good.
to,
That's promising.
they're saying, please don't hurry. It is very promising. They said, please don't hurry it. Please don't think that just because nothing has happened yet, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But, just keep saying, thank you and visualize yourself working on this in beautiful, areas and working with amazing people to bring forth this project. But it has a wonderful quality about it and a very spiritual, very deep uh, message for humanity. That's what they're saying. And that's why you were given this project, because of your thoroughness and your deepness and your connectedness to wanting to make a difference in the world. I'm going to go to the cards and I will choose one from my Oracle of E cards, which I've often stated how much I love these cards. Um, and the one that comes out for you is oh, well, it's funny we were talking about this new project, and it's the card is number 8, which is the card of money, abundance, prosperity. Excuse me, financial gain, and the card is called All In. And it says, all systems go. Whatever you do right now, do not hold back. This is the perfect time to give it everything you've got. For every inch you move towards your dream, the universe will move it 10 times closer. It's time to raise the stakes and play your hand. I'd jump in if I were you. So, when was the last time that you spoke with anybody concerning this project?
Oh, I think I sent an email probably maybe about 6 months ago, and they had said that they were going to put forward that proposal on to the person who was going to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that you were talking about, things that they've had to do over the last year about going to a public level, taking something out to the public. I know exactly what that is. I've been following them while they've been doing this, so I know that they've been very busy.
Right.
And I know that I've sent a couple of emails this year, I think, but I don't want to push. And I'm open to the divine timing as well. It's not like they don't know about me, because I have received responses from them, but it just hasn't got to the person who's going to, or the right person to make a decision. And I know that they've been very busy, but I've been patient for a year, and I'm thinking, it'd be nice just to get a little bit of a boost of confidence, I think. So I've been thinking in the last probably month or so that it might be time to send another follow-up email. Each time I've thought about that, I've also then got, no, it's not quite right timing just yet, because they're still finishing up this other thing that they've been doing. So I'm probably asking that question now because I'm feeling like it might be about the right time to send another follow-up email.
Absolutely. It is time. It is time to follow up with another email. They're also saying that with Venus still being in retrograde, it might be a good time to wait to actually send it until after Venus goes forward on November the 16th. But you can always formulate it in the next couple of weeks. Your first card is the Eight of Pentacles, and this is the being remarkable card and being noted for it. It's working hard on a project that brings in financial gain and financial security and all of that stuff. It also is a card of being promoted and recognized by others. So that's the first card. The second card that came out for you was the Hermit, and the Hermit is taking that light of knowingness, of inner wisdom, and taking that light out into the world. A lot of people see the Hermit card as just sitting in a cave and, you know, uh, chanting, but it's not. It's about taking that light out into to the wider community, and by sending that email out. Then what you come back with is the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands is those messages that come back to you um, with messages of concerning your projects, your ideas, your your creativity, and it sets fire to them with those messages coming back, that it has sparked somebody's imagination, and they want to pursue it further. So those cards and the all in card, I would say it definitely is a time to revisit that next email. They're saying, it's true, the squeaky wheel gets the most grease, but there's also, as you know, times where you can really PO people off by, just hounding them, but that's not the case. You haven't been doing that, but you're getting that inkling inside of you to do this again, because they have been busy, and and not maybe, but it is a time to just knock on their door and say, you know, uh, you know, this was this 6 months ago, and I'm, just now getting back to this, and just start a dialogue or continue the dialogue. So I hope that's been helpful.
It has. And did you say that after November 16 would be more favourable?
Yeah. Let me see. I can always see if, because, the weather with Venus retrograde going forward, it does start to go forward on the 16th. But let me see. Should he send it out this week? Not the week of the 23rd. He said, somebody, that's strange. Somebody just stepped forward. Usually the Posse of Angels speaks in one voice, but just a he stepped forward, and he, whoever he is, said, "You have so much on your plate at the moment. This week is out. Next week, to send that out? No. Um, how about the, let me see, so that's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. How about the week of the 6th? Yeah, that feels good actually. They said send it out the week of November the 6th. Any time during that week.
From November 6 onwards. Okay, good. Thanks
Yeah.
very much.
You're very welcome. Have a beautiful day. God bless you.
Thanks, you too. Bye bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you so much. And we only have, well, we have about 5 minutes left. Let's go to the cards and just do a bit of a general read for all of us. Um, I've heard from many people who have said that the energies are much lighter. We are going into an election. Uh, this has fired up many people to stand up, to speak their minds, to get involved, which is a wonderful thing. Which is a wonderful thing, and we have found our tribe, those people who we're aligned with, and the power to make changes in this world um, has always been in the hands of the people. They just have not realized how powerful and how strong they are when they pull together as one unit, as one unity, as one humanity. And there is nothing that is that is stronger than that. So it is a remarkable time for all of us uh, as we go into the holiday season that is fast approaching on us. Let's go to the cards and see what comes out for just a little bit of messages coming through about this week. First card is the moon. Okay. The moon card is saying that they're going back to what they said in the original channel today, which is take the rest of October. Just like Pete, our last caller, was told, don't send out anything in the last 2 weeks. Wait until November. Use the rest of October to sit back and to be led. Open your heart up to possibilities, um, uh, uh, unlimited possibilities as to where your projects could go, um, how you can serve the world, and to bring in more adventures, and to be curious, and to enjoy enthusiastically creating your lives. So that's a really good card to start off with. Just because something hasn't been revealed yet doesn't mean it won't be revealed. Not now. One of my favorite expressions is not now, doesn't mean not ever. Okay, so that's our first card. Okay, be be comfortable not knowing yet, whatever that is, and just sitting back. Then what happens is the lover's card comes in. Now, lover's card is often about love. This card is about a choice. When we are fully open to receive, then we are open to for our hearts to surrender to different possibilities and limitless things coming in. And then we will be given a choice, and then the next card comes in is the patience card, the temperance card. Things will start to balance themselves out again, and we will be given more information as Venus goes forward, as that full moon then becomes that new moon 2 weeks from now, and you'll see a big difference uh, in feeling that you want to make movement forward, and getting re-excited instead of just sitting back at this time, and in essence in waiting. So that just wraps up for the show to, for today. Thank you so much to my listeners. Thank you to my callers. And thank you to everyone around the world who has promoted and referred and recommended Angel Healing House Radio. It just absolutely warms my heart. And remember, go out and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. Love and angel blessings, and I look forward to speaking with you again next week. Take care. Bye.